We're on our last topic of statistics. We've looked at mean, median, and mode. Then we've looked at trimmed mean, weighted mean, and now we're kind of shifting a little bit of gears into something called percentile. Now, does anyone know? Does anyone know what this is? It gives you a hint at the top. Bell curve, specifically of IQ. So, this is measuring how intelligent people are based on the test that they give. And so, most of the people fall here at 100. That's your average score. Your person of average intelligence is going to have a score of about 100. If someone has a score of like 130, well, they're pretty freaking smart. They're in the top 2% of intelligent people, right? If you have a super genius way over here, 0.1%, 1 in 1,000 people are going to be here. I was roommates with one of these people, super intelligent. And it goes the other way as well. There's people who fall lower and lower on this intelligence curve as well. But this is, that is that's an IQ bell curve. We're not going to look into like bell curves, but those percentages are coming into play, right? So if we were to say, if you had a really, really smart person, really smart, going to go to this 2% figure here. Again, if I say, hey, they're in the top 2%, what does that mean? Does it mean they're smart or not smart? It means they're smart, right? Yeah, absolutely. If I said, hey, you have a person who's in the bottom 2% of intelligence, what does that probably mean about them? They're not very intelligent, no. Absolutely, that's right. So there's percentiles here. So I have a couple multiple choice questions here, just kind of go over. So if you were to be the 90th percentile for intelligence, you don't need to shout out the answer. All I just want you to do is think about is the option 2 of these are correct. 2 of these 4 things are correct. If you're in the 90th percentile for intelligence, it's going to mean that either 1, you're a pretty smart guy and most of the people in society are less intelligent than you, or 2, it's going to mean that you're not a very smart person and most people around you are more intelligent than you. So if you're in the 90th percentile for intelligence, it's going to be 2 of these. You're either super smart compared to everyone else around you, or everyone else around you is way smarter than you. Well, it's going to be 1 of A and B and 1 of C and D. So 90th percentile for intelligence is going to put you at somewhere about right here. If you're in the 90th percentile, you're in the top 10%. Right? See where I got 10% from? So if your percentiles means if you're in the 90th percentile, 90% of people are below you in terms of intelligence, right? So you're in the top 10%. So if I said someone was in the top 2% of intelligence, they would be in the 98th percentile, because 98 out of 100 people would be less intelligent than them, right? So if you're the 99th percentile, you're the smartest guy in the room. Room of 100 people, you're the smartest guy. You're the top 1% of intelligence, right? I'm going to come back to that example in a bit. So if you're in the 90th percentile for intelligence, you would be smarter than 90% of the population. 90% of people would not be as smart, which also means that you would still be less intelligent than 10% of the other population. There's still, again, think of a room, 100 people. You're smarter than 90 of those people, but 10 of those people are smarter than you. So both of these are true, A and D. Okay? I'm going to come back to percentiles, but I have another thing for you here. Where's my mouse? So, who here has kids again? You do? So, when your son was born, you probably had to go to like a doctor's appointment like a couple of days or weeks after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's probably a couple things that happened there. He might have told you. I assume male doctor, female doctor. Female. So she might have told you that your child is in some type of a percentile for their weight, for their age. So again, 2 of these are correct. If you have a baby, they're in the 5th percentile. Let's go to these top 2. Does that mean most other babies are heavier than your child, or that most other children are going to be lighter than your child? Do you have a really fat baby, or do you have a really skinny baby? In the 5th percentile. And it's really skinny baby, right? Out of 100 babies, only 5 of them are going to be skinnier than your kid, right? So you have a very underweight child. So only 5% of other babies are going to be lighter. 95% of other babies are going to be heavier, right? So you probably had, a premature birth, for example. Maybe they just had a small birth weight. I was born like 3 pounds or something like that. So I would definitely be on that scale. Yeah, twin brother, 6 pounds. That's where all the food went, clearly. Like, so, actually, I'm going to become that one. Who's the big guy? Shaquille O'Neal, right? Big basketball player. For reference, so again, NBA players, massive, right? They're like we're all tiny compared to them. So, I'm going to get to that. But right, most NBA players, on average, pretty tall, pretty big guys, right? Like they're usually like 7 feet, like 6'10", stuff like that, right? High 6 foot, low 7 foot. One of them is like almost 8 feet or something like that, like crazy tall, right? You're talking basketball, you're talking tall people. For reference, Shaq is huge even for NBA players, right? Is that LeBron? Is that him? I don't know who that is. Kobe. Oh, yes. So Shaq is huge even for NBA players. Really tall guy, right? So when you're talking basketball, like, if I was saying, hey, I don't know, maybe you're talking like one of your your girlfriends, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm dating this new guy. He's he's a really big basketball player. He's a professional basketball player. Right away, you're probably going to think that he's what? Tall. He's going to be, he's probably going to be tall, right? Yeah. Most NBA players are tall. Not every one of them, though, right? That dude, number 1, 5'3", probably like this tall, like it was about Hannah's height, probably something like that, right? Super short. He's playing with guys who are like almost 8 feet tall, and so, or like 7 feet tall. Tiny compared. Like, look at the difference between him and the tall guy in the back, right? Tiny, professional player. So this is where I'm going into this example here. So if you're a 6'2", that's about my height. It's a little tiny bit taller than I am. If you're a 6'2" and an NBA player, you're gonna need to read this carefully. I know it's a lot of text on here. If you're a 6'2" player on an NBA team, all your teammates are taller than you. Which one of those 4 do you think it is? And I will give you a minute to kind of read those. I know it's a lot of text. Look at the bold stuff. It's one of those 4. So one more minute. Think about which one of those 4 it is. You're the shortest guy on that basketball team, but you're still 6'2". Okay, raise your hand if you think. So who thinks it's A? Who thinks it's B? Who thinks C? Who thinks D? So I think it's somewhere between B and C. So let's break this down. So this is the and part here, right? This is a dual statement. So similar to those other ones, there's 2 things of the 4 that were correct. Only one of these 4 are correct, but there's dual statements here. Only one of these things is true. So first off, let's talk about the general population. If you're 6'2", Are you taller than most other people or shorter than most other people? Taller, right? Maybe you're the top 5%, maybe you're the top 10%. We don't know, but if you're 6'2", again, that's about this tall. You're taller than most other people. So would you be a high percentile or a low percentile? You're taller than most people. Are you a high percentile or low percentile? High. High, right? Absolutely, yeah. So you would be a high percentile for general population. So right away, we know it's going to be A or B. Now let's go to the second part. Percentile compared to your teammates. Are you a tall person compared to your teammates or a short person compared to your teammates? Short. So if you're short, right? We had a very underweight baby. We were in a low percentile. We were in fifth percentile, right? Super low. Fifth, pretty low. So if that's the case, it's going to be B, right? You're in a high percentile compared to the population. You're taller than most people. You go to a mall, you're one of the tallest people there. But you're a low percentile compared to your teammates, right? You're the shortest guy on that team. Even though you go to the mall, you're one of the tallest dudes, you're still super short compared to everyone else on that basketball team. So you would be a high percentile for height compared to the population, but a low percentile for height compared to your teammates. I want to go to one more example. You're gonna need your computers for this, by the way. You're gonna need your computers in a second. Elon Musk. You've probably heard of him before. Founder of Tesla, the electric car company, of SpaceX, rocket company. He's the current owner of Twitter, which is just a dumpster fire right now. He's lost so much money. He's super wealthy. He's not this wealthy anymore, but in November of last year, he was worth about $185 billion, which is $185 million. Crazy ton of money, right? It's really hard to picture, like, what could you buy with $185 billion? Well, he owns a rocket company, so he could buy a couple rockets. $185 billion. That's richer than most countries. It's a very hard figure to actually grasp. How rich is that? So let's find out. And he made Starlink too. Yes. Yeah, he has a couple projects there. I think he started. I'm thinking, like, is it PayPal? Was it PayPal he started too? No. That's the Virgin cell phone company guy, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Either way, I want you to head to this website, or you can Google engaging data and Elon Musk. So I want you to either type that website in or just Google engaging data Elon Musk. Fox News? Shouldn't be Fox News, should be that exact website. Let me throw that in there. Engaging data, Elon Musk should be this one here. How rich is Elon Musk? So if you click on that, you should end up at something like this. Everyone on that? Yeah. No. You put in. Oh, just go to Google, just put it in engaging data. Yeah, just go to that. Engaging data. So what was going on previously? No, I had CPR. Every instructor did. And then it's going to be hours because you all not one of the bottom. Yeah, cool. So everyone's there. So this is a visualization. It's trying to give some perspective on how much money this is. The human mind does not work with huge numbers. That's why space is so difficult for us. So this is, again, as of November last year, but what the heck does this really mean? So what you want to do is you want to start, click here, click that. You click that, so you can scroll left or right. I'm going to recommend scrolling eventually. Start slowly first, or you can go L and D. You can also press L and D to scroll right. You press L. Oh, I've gone L a little bit. So you see this little tiny red dot here? That's a pixel on your screen. It's a single dot. There's millions of dots on your screen. That's $1,000. That tiny, tiny, tiny red dot, which I can't even like zoom in enough to see, is $1,000. I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm just going to press my L button for now. So that little square there that you see, the purple square, that's the average American income. How much 2 Americans make a year? $69,000 American, probably like 80 grand Canadian, 90 grand Canadian, I don't know. 69 pixels. So if I keep going, this is $1 million. Orange block, $1 million. This is how much, you know, your average man or woman of people who have a college degree, you know, a good education, makes in their lifetime. So that's like $2 million or something. Boom, that's a person's life right there. Of a good job, with a good education. That's their life in money. And so that's the top 1% of US households, right? 99th percentile of US households. So if you keep going, you're going to eventually get to see how much Elon Musk is worth. So again, your screen contains $500 million. That's how many pixels that your screen has. So if you keep going, it's going to show you the cost of different things. And I just want you to keep on scrolling, keep on scrolling, keep on scrolling until you get to the very, very end. And if you're looking at this bar on the bottom, you're going to have to start scrolling really fast to get to the end of it. I used my mouse, I clicked and I dragged. I think you might be able to use this little bar at the bottom too. So I'm at about 10% of his wealth. So I'm just going to give you a minute. I want you to just scroll to the end. Here we go. So at 12% of his wealth, we have reached the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe's money for the last 13 years. So every superhero movie after Spider-Man, there it is. Endgame, I think, got like 2 billion. Yeah, I'm going to give you another minute. Just keep on scrolling there to the end. I'm going to slowly scroll too. Again, with that amount of money, you make more money than most countries. So not. Sorry. That's why he wants to go to Mars. Like when you really start to understand how much like $1 billion is, it's disgusting. And this guy owns like almost 200 billion. It's insane how much $1 billion is, never mind multiple billions. Yeah, like I'm halfway there. I've been scrolling this speed the whole time. I'm halfway there. Yeah, I'll speed up a little bit. So again, every pixel on that screen is $1,000. This entire blue thing you see, $500,000. And I keep scrolling, $500,000, $500,000. And there we go, all the way at the end. I'm all the way here. What's the next like relative thing I can find? Like, there's nothing that even comes close. Probably Bill Gates at like 120 or something. Oh, what did I just see? Well, I don't think he was near this, like I think he was a billionaire, but like it's nothing in comparison. Again, when you're a billionaire and you're so he's rich. He lost 40% of this. He's still the second richest guy in the world. This is when he was the richest, but so I just wanted to show you like Elon Musk's wealth. Like what the heck does that have to do with percentages? Well, again, we've been doing percentiles. If you are, again, a room of 100 people and you're the richest person in that room, You know, you're the 1%, right? What is that as a percentile? Richest guy in the room. How many people may have less money than you in that room? 100 people. 99 of them have less money than you. You are the 99th percentile. The 99th percentile. You can never go more than the 99th percentile. If you good? Yeah. Good save. Didn't flip your head there. So again, if Elon Musk was to be in that room of 100 people, he's just the 99th percentile. Even though he's the stupidly richest guy in the world, he's still the 99th percentile. You can never go past 99th percentile. Doesn't work. Now, you can be in the top 1% of earners, the top 0.1% of earners. Again, going back to that IQ thing, super genius, top 0.1%. So I want to just, if we were to be able to address just how it is, he's the richest guy in the world, right? 1 out of 8 billion people. That's what it is. He's not the top 1%, the top 0.0000125%. He's still the 99th percentile, though. You can never go into a decimal with it. You can never go past that 99. Okay, so we're going to start looking at percentiles here. So you're going to want to head to your booklet. You're going to want to head to your booklet. Ooh, not that. And head to page 132. So head to page 132 of your booklet. And you will need a calculator. Oh, that yeah. Okay. So 20 seconds. I assume everyone will be on page 132. Okay. So a couple things you're going to want to highlight, underline, circle, star, make note of. So a couple things you just want to make note of here. So what we've just talked a lot about is percentile and percentile rank. So you see some definitions here. Percentile, the number from 1 to 99 that shows the percentage of values in the data set that are lower than the value given. That's the fancy way of saying, again, you have 100 people in a room. How many of them make less money than you, for example? Elon Musk, he'd be in the 99th percentile because all other 99 people in that room make less money than him. If you have the lightest baby born they've ever seen, they've never seen a baby so skinny, it's the 1st percentile, right? 99 of 100 babies, they're going to be heavier than that kid. Then, of course, there's the percentile rank. That's the percentage of values in a data given set that are lower than the value given. These are essentially the same thing. Again, the math here gives you a really weird definition. Just think about in a room of 100 people, how many are this lower? So, so everything's always based out of 100 here, right? So we use percentiles to organize sets of data so you can see how easily they compare to other values. Again, if you are the 99th percentile for intelligence, what does that mean? 99th percentile for intelligence, you're either very intelligent or very unintelligent. Which one do you think it is? Intelligent, right? You're the smartest guy in the room. So if I say, hey, yeah, your son, he's in the 99th percentile for intelligence. Oh, my son's a genius. Oh, cool, right? Instantly, boom, you know exactly what that means. That's how we use percentiles. It's used a lot in medical terms, actually, especially for babies. For babies, whenever you have a young kid, you go to the doctor a lot. They weigh the kid. They're able to see how they're physically developing based on that and other babies of a similar age range. So a percentile rank indicates the percentage of values in a given data that are lower than the given number, right? It's always lower. If I'm the top 1% of wealth, I'm the 99th percentile for wealth. So if a number is at the 60th percentile, that means 60% of the numbers in that set are below that number. So if I'm the 60th percentile for height, I'm a little bit taller than most people. So we have a formula for this. It looks more complicated than it is. I'll break it down here, but you're going to want to box this whole thing. This is our formula here, right? B is the number of values below the one being considered. And then N is the number of values in the data set. So how many people do we have in the classroom right here? Me included, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aiden, I think you're the tallest one here, I think you were. So if we were to do a percentile of the height in the classroom, Aiden is how many? So there's 7 people in the room, right? N number of total value. Sorry, there's 6 people in the room. 6. There's 6 people here. At least, well, 6 people sitting down. Aiden, you're the tallest person. So how many people are shorter than you in this room right now? 5. Yeah, 5 over 6 times 100. Boom, we have our percentile rank, right? And 5 over 6 times 100, because that just turns it from a decimal to a percentage, 83%. You would be in the 83rd percentile as a percentile rank. So we have an example here. This time we have more people's heights, and this time it's in paper, not how many people are actually here. So if I want to calculate the percentile rank for a list, the first thing I need to do, and luckily it's been done for us at the bottom of the page, I need to write the numbers from lowest to highest, right? This is something we've been doing for a while. Oh, hello.
You guys, vehicles, you guys can move over there. A truck, my beer truck's here.
I can just go ask.
Yeah. Usually, you don't have the evening, but it needs to calculate.
I think so, yeah. Okay, so what we have here, so we have 12 players' heights, and they've been organized from the shortest person to the tallest guy, right? That's what you want to do. First thing, organize your data set, smallest to biggest. This is what we've done the entire time we've been doing this. So organize my data set. Okay, so I'm using this formula, PR, percentile ranking, PR, P, percentile, R, ranking. Percentile ranking is equal to, so my PR, if I want to figure out 172 centimeters, my B and my H, so my B and my N. So N, the total number of people in the data set. How many players are there? 12. N, number of values in the data set, there's 12 people. And then B, how many values are below that? I'm looking at the dude with 172 centimeters in height. How many people are shorter than him? 6. PR equals 6 over 12 times 100. You put that in a calculator, you're going to eventually get 50. So he's in the 50 percentile ranking there, okay? So that means 50% of the boys, half the boys, are shorter than this guy. So what about for 190? 190. PR, what's my data set? How many people? 12. And how many people are shorter than him? 11. So now you do 11 divided by 12 times 100, right? You do that, you should end up with something like 90. Oh, actually, let me go into this. I wanted to show this one specifically. So I do 11 over 12. 11 people are shorter than him out of 12 people. He's included in it. Times 100. What do I get as my answer? Absolutely. But I can't have decimals. I need to round this. So I'm going to round it up to 92. Boom. What's his percentile rank? He's 92. So I want to go into specifically this 92 value here. So if you have a 92 percentile ranking, you're in the 92nd percentile. Again, if you're in the 99th percentile for money, you're the top 1%, right? What would be he'd be in the top what percent for height? Sorry. So if you're in the 99th percentile for the amount of money you earn, you're in the top 1%, right? You're in the top 1% of earners. You make a lot of money. If he's in the 92nd percentile for height, that's going to make him the top what percent tallest people? 10, 20, 5, 1. What's that number going to be? He'd be the top 8% of height. Yeah, right? Because everything's related to 100 here, right? Oh, 100 minus 92, boom, top 8%. If you're the top 99%, if you're in the 99th percentile for earning, 100 minus 99, oh, you're the top 1% of money makers. You're rich. Okay, so you can see like how they do the everything here in terms of like how they solve it, but just think how many data sets do I have? How many are below it? Times it by 100, boom. I just want you, so super quickly, I want you guys to be doing question 1, A and B. I'm going to walk around the room in 30 seconds, see how we're doing. All it wants you to do is find the percentile rank of number 8. How do I find the percentile rank? I don't remember. Oh, it tells me right up here. This is how I can find my percentile rank. So question 1, both A and B, find the percentile rank of that. I will be coming and checking on our progress in 30 seconds. This is already in order for you. Okay, so first off, and this is true for pretty much everything we've done. What's my formula that I use again? I want to find the percentile ranking. So I want to find percentile ranking. So PR, what was my formula again?
However many numbers there are, so 2 or 2 under 1.
Oh, so you're going the next step there. So I'll get there. So it's B over N, right? B is the amount of numbers below the one I'm given. So how many numbers are below 8? 1. There's only one number below 8. And then how many numbers are there in total? 10. So that's what my N is, right? So on top is how many are below it. On the bottom is how many are there in total. So there's one number below, and I have 10 total sets of data. And what do I do with this number? This 1 over 10. There's one thing to do with it. Multiply by 100, right? Because that turns it from a decimal to a percentage. So if I punch that in my calculator, 1 over 10 times 100, I should end up with 10. I am in the 10th percentile. So I just put like 10th percentile. You can just leave it as 10 too, because I understand that this will be a little annoying to write each time. Yeah, 10. So what about for question 2? So again, same thing. I write my formula down, my PR percentile rank. Oops. My percentile rank is equal to B over N, right? So how many total data sets do I have there, Austin?
And
10? And how many are below 8?
one,
Just one. So same thing. 1 over 10. Oh, it's times by 100. These are the exact same percentile ranking, right? These are both within the 10th percentile. They're both in the 10th percentile of the data set that they were given. So I hope that's making some sense. Seems like it is. So next, same thing, same type of question, specific data set though. Now we're putting names beside each of these data sets though. So for question 2A on your next page, so for question 2A, again, it's already in order for you. It wants me to find his percentile rank. Oh, percentile rank. That means I need to use the formula for that. PR is equal to B over N. So what is the N? Is N how many things are below it, or is N how many there is in total? Sorry? Yeah, it's how many numbers there are. How many numbers are there? How many? 20? Okay, I never actually counted, so I'll trust your judgment. And then how many are below 80? 4. 4 over 20 times 100. That should give you 20? 25, maybe? Let's find out. So 4 over 20 times 100, 20. So what's his percentile rank? 20. His percentile rank is 20. Now here's a question for you. We've done the opposite way, where what if someone's the tallest guy in the room? What if someone's the smartest guy in the room? Well, what if Meg here earned the lowest grade? That's what question B is, right? Question B, my percentile ranking of this, B over N. Same thing, there's 20 data sets, but Meg here at the 75%, there's no one who scored less than her. So I can't quite put 0 because there's still a certain amount. What I would actually do in this case is I would actually kind of put, actually, before I say that, what is the test? What does the exam want? Does it, I'm going to come back to this in a second. I want to make sure that I'm not actually messing you guys up with this. Okay, no, they do want you to put 0 there. You're right. They would put 0 here. All of a sudden, yeah, you're just 0 percentile rank. And then, of course, we have Jazz, who earned 100%. Who earned 100%. Oops. Let me just cross all that out. PR equal to B over N. There's still 20 points of data set, 20 values in my data set. And then how many people are below him? 19. Yeah. Really common mistake there would be with 20. It's not 20, it's 19. So if you do that, you should get 95 here. You times that by 100 too. Should get 95. So I hope that's making some sense here. Now, of course, just like everything else we've done, when we did the graph stuff, for example, at the start of the class, if you remember, government doesn't just want to know that you know how to draw a graph. They want you to be able to interpret a graph, draw an equation from it, right? So these are the basic skills. They want you to apply this type of information to certain situations. So what do I mean by apply this information to certain situations? Well, something like this. They would want you to be able to answer something like this. Or they'd want you to be able to answer something like this. So here's a question for you. Let's try and work this one out. You can use loose leaf, you can use your brain, you can use whatever you want. I just want to give you a minute. Try and work out this question here. Read it super carefully. I'm going to give you a hint. There's 9 other students. I'll give you a minute. Try and solve that. Again, really key here, there's 9 other students. So how many students are there in total? Ooh. Well, let's find out in a second. Again, this would be an exam style question, just so you know, like this is about as difficult as it gets. We're already there. Oops. So about 30 more seconds. So let's find out. All of these are possible answers you could get. These are only one of these is correct, but it's really easy to make a mistake and get to one of these other ones. So first off, how many total students are there? 10. There's 9 other students. I'm a student too. There's a total of 10 of us. So right away, you could have just instantly looked at, oh, there's 9 students. You could have done it right. You would have been led to one of these 2 answers then. Super easy, common mistake to make, right? Even if you might have done everything else right except for that. So there's 10 students, right? 9 other students. I'm also a student in the class. Me plus 9 others, 10 people. Cool. So next thing is, I now know that there's 10 people. The only thing I need to figure out now is I need to figure out where I stand and everyone else. I scored 25% on the course. Do you think I probably had one of the lowest grades? Probably. So it's probably going to be low. So we can use that as a general guide to make sure we're on the right track. But how many people scored lower than me than I? Only 1 did, right? 8 of these 9 students scored higher. 1 of those 9, therefore, scored lower than me. So 1 person scored lower than me out of 10 people times 100. I'm going to be in the 10th percentile. The answer would be A in this case. Everything else there is a common answer you would get if you made just a single mistake. It's a multi-step problem. If you made a single mistake, it would have been led to one of those other ones. So I'm in the 10th percentile. That means I scored really low compared to everyone else. If I was in the 90th percentile, oh, I got a sick grade on that. That's good. 10th percentile, not good. Yeah, that's an exam style question you could expect. So the second you're able to understand how you find percentile, you're already there. Now it's just applying that to situations. The math is not hard. It's the logic that is the difficult part with this, okay? So this would be an exam style question. I'm just going to change the page. This would also be another exam style question. This one would probably be a little more difficult just because it relies on a lot more wordplay. You have to really read this carefully. But those are exam style questions you could expect on that departmental that you get. Yep. So what I'm going to get you guys do is we're kind of it. Like we're kind of there. There's not really much else to go with this percentile stuff. Like that's percentile in a nutshell. So what's going to happen for the rest of the day? You get time to work on this, to practice this percentile skill. And at the same time, we also have, wherever it may be, hello, bear with me. If you remember, we also have those exam style questions that are due on Come on. Due on February 13th, on Monday. So these measures, that measures all three things we've learned: mean, median, mode, trimmed mean, weighted mean, and then percentile. So there's the 6 things there that are really from this. So today is time to finish working on those. The other thing you're going to want to start looking into as well is all the grades for this class are up to date. If you look at your grade and you see that there's a concept that you have a 0 in, it just means you weren't there for that concept check. Don't freak out if that's the case. There will be a time in the next couple of weeks where you get an opportunity to make that up. There will probably also be an optional assignment that you could use for that in addition to a concept check instead. This type of stuff, so those exam style questions from unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, if I have no other proof that you've met a skill, this could possibly be used for that. So all the grades for math are up to date. If you check it and you see something that's really weird, you're like, uh-oh, you just weren't here that day. You will get a chance to make that up if that is the case. But so for today, you get to work, you get to finish working on this percentile stuff. You get to finish working on these exam style questions. You get a little bit more time tomorrow. And then on Monday, we will be moving on to a really nice unit, really fun one to teach, really concrete probability. Any questions?